required in the country, and that can actually help us both in terms of our competitiveness with larger economies of scale. It can help us improve our quality of whatever we are producing, whatever we are offering to the rest of the world. And of course, it will have a huge impact on India's macro economy, which already today sports double the foreign exchange reserves, which we had inherited in 2014. And that is after paying back all those expensive borrowings of $34 billion that were made in August, September of 2013, only to artificially shore up the rupee and show some modicum of stability in the Indian economy, which of course came as a high interest cost burden to the Modi government in 2014 and was subsequently repaid. After all those repayments also, if we actually remove that from what we had inherited as foreign exchange reserves, then we have really almost gone 2.5 times today from what we had inherited in 2014. And I do believe an increased thrust both in foreign investments coming into India, a lot of which is driven by the very compelling investment destination that India has become, with the huge 3D effect, democracy, demography and demand that India offers to the world today, and the export earnings that we are hoping to increase in the years to come, collectively helping us also strengthen the Indian economy further. I also see a lot of investments now in manufacturing, driven with data available on what is being imported. When Indian industry knows the elements of the import basket, it automatically encourages Indian industry to invest in those sectors. And I do believe going forward that will also spur greater investments in manufacturing. So we have a huge local demand, we have a huge replacement of imports to meet the large local demand. We have the opportunity for India to play an increasingly important role in global value chains, which also encourages us to be a part of GVCs and add to the manufacturing investments and capacity of India. And we have the potential, given our high quality and affordable production, to serve the needs of the world. They are all looking for trusted partners. They are all looking for companies and countries which operate under the rule of law, where there is justice, where there is democracy, where there is recourse to any unfair trade practices. And I think in that sense, India offers one of the best destinations, both for investment, as a sourcing hub for the needs of the world, and to encourage the domestic manufacturing. Clearly, the young aspirational India is a big demand aggregator and booster. As the economy grows, and mind you, when we look at the Indian economy even today, while our GDP in terms of US dollars is currently at about $3.5, $3.7 trillion, on a purchasing power parity basis, we are closer to $10 trillion. So we already have a huge delta in terms of the PPP that the Indian economy represents, which shows that there is enough traction in the economy and a lot of demand, a lot of volume of goods that are sold in the economy at scale. And when we look at the nominal growth of the country in US dollar terms, the GDP growth is nearly between 9.5% to 10% at present, which going forward could even get better, considering the fact that we will be pretty much focused on expanding exports, in making sure that India becomes a significant global player in the economy, And given all the right elements in place, given the increasing manufacturing capacity, I'm quite certain that our mantra of Make in India, our effort to promote brand India across the world, our collective commitment to work with a sense of duty to make India a developed nation by 2047, the women-led development that is clearly evident in every walk of life today, all of these enablers will help India truly become a developed, a prosperous nation by 2047. I believe that with the basic needs of large sections of the less privileged sections of society being met through various welfare initiatives, whether it's food, clothing, shelter, healthcare, education, digital connectivity, water, good connectivity on various infrastructure fronts. All of these are significant enablers which help young India, and our average age is less than 30 years, it's 28.4 years today, expected to continue to be a young population for the next 30 years. This young India, with 2/3 of the people in the working age, clearly is aspiring for the good things of life. They are connected on the net, 900 million plus users on the net, watching what is happening across the world, aspiring for all the good things of life, is going to be a huge demand creator, demand generator. It's going to inspire our youth to work harder, to contribute to the India growth story in a bigger way. And with the triple track of strong macroeconomic fundamentals, huge thrust on infrastructure creation and welfare, moving people out of multidimensional poverty. Nearly 250 million people have already, in the last 10 years, come out of poverty. And with the increasing disposable incomes that our families have today, undoubtedly, we can see India being at the forefront of global growth, and that cannot happen but for the various initiatives that have been taken to support manufacturing in the country. We are manufacturing for the renewable energy sector in a big way. We are going big on the automobile sector. We'll be a large producer, even probably doubling our capacity in things like steel, cement, all the various building construction materials. I can see before my eyes, as more and more women come into the workforce, a greater demand for fast-moving consumer goods or electronic products. More and more youth are getting connected with electronic devices, giving a leg up to manufacturing of electronic goods in the country. In the electrical industry space, we are a leader in the world. Along with the auto industry, the auto component industry has become a matter of pride. They are already exporting $20 billion with an aspirational target of $100 billion by 2030. The Indian textile sector, with a large employment potential, with about $44 billion of exports currently, has set before itself a target to reach $100 billion of exports and expanding its domestic footprint. Given the urge amongst youngsters for better clothing and the demand for textiles rapidly increasing in India, showing huge potential for manufacturing in the textile sector, the focus the government has given to the semiconductor industry, helping a new ecosystem develop in India. Going forward, our effort to promote areas like shipbuilding, our effort to promote tourism in the country, and along with that, the whole ecosystem of tourism, providing further impetus to manufacturing of goods and provision of services in India. It's a pretty holistic and comprehensive vision with which Prime Minister Modi has brought to fore his ambition and his plan and the collective vision of 140 crore Indians to make India a Viksit Bharat by 2047. Friends, we can all contribute in this vision. I urge each one of you to be a Viksit Bharat ambassador, be vocal for local, support each other, and be willing to engage with domestic industry as a part of your entire value chain. The Prime Minister has given the call for Wed in India, which will also give a lot of jobs and impetus to the service sector and tourism in the country. Of course, travel in India is picking up steam with more and more people wanting to explore the exotic locations that India offers. We have a number of corporates who have made it a mission to gift domestically produced made in India products. Very often corporates have now turned to gifting one district, one product goods, which are very often handlooms, handicrafts, specialities identified in each district across the country, so that ODOP products or our artisans, our weavers, they get a larger opportunity for sale of their goods. And I do hope all the corporates will make it a mission to gift Indian products and, if possible, ODOP products, giving a leg up to the handloom and handicraft and khadi and cottage industry sector. I would urge all of you to also remain connected with real India, with the India at the grassroots. In a way, I recall the Prime Minister once telling all the officials, senior officials in government, that they should go back to their first posting. And he sent all the secretaries, additional secretaries, back to the first posting they had 25, 30 years ago, and see what has happened over there, see the development that is happening over there. Similarly, I would urge captains of industry to see if you and your senior team, management team, your senior officials, your supervisors, managers, could all be encouraged to go back to their roots, go back to the village or small town from where you originally came, see the situation there. It may give you some good ideas of how you can contribute to a better future for the people who are still left behind. Maybe just like your family boarded a train or got a chance to come to one of the big cities, get good education and make a good life for you and your families and your children. Let's look back at those who are not yet out of their villages or out of their small towns and see how we can play a role to further improve their lives. What are the goods and services that they need? I'd made a call to action to the chartered accountants in a program in Gandhinagar. I was very immensely happy to read yesterday that they've actually actionated that each chartered accountant will teach one chartered accountant, will encourage and support one student, and I had suggested you do that from your original village. Pick up a bright young boy or girl from your village where you come from. Mentor him. Give him scholarship. Support him through his education process. If required, get him to your office to train with you. And if each chartered accountant, and we have about 400,000 of us in the country, if each chartered accountant was to adopt one child from one of the villages across the country, and if we could cover 300 or 400,000 villages and have a chartered accountant come out of each of those villages, can you imagine what an impact that would have and how that would encourage the rest of the children in that village or small town to do better and bigger in life? Maybe each one of us can pick up one such small project. And as they say, I don't know how many of you have read the Ramayana, but it was the squirrels, Gileri, who played the important role of building the Ram Setu, which helped Lord Ram reach Lanka and bring back his better half, bring back Mata Sita. So truly, each one of us has a role to play. I may be diverting from your manufacturing as a subject, but I do want to urge each one of you and take this message to your colleagues in your family, in your workplace, in your neighborhood, amongst your friends. Can each one of us contribute in some way to help those who have been left behind come up in life, be greater and bigger contributors to the India growth story? Keep the nation first in every activity you do. Make sure you be the change agent. You make the difference that you want to see in the other. Because change begins from us. And when each one of us decides or makes it a mission that we will focus on the India story, we will be Indian, we'll buy Indian, we'll support local industry, we'll support local entrepreneurs, we will support the India startup ecosystem, we will buy goods made by our artisans, weavers. All of this collectively will give a spurt, and then that 16x growth that Anishji just spoke about in manufacturing. The fact that as we become a $35 trillion economy by 2047, manufacturing will have a big chunk of that economy. Manufacturing will support, as you said, 25% of that GDP. I think that would be a reality that is eminently doable. The challenge is before each one of us to adopt. The challenge is for all of us to accept. And I have no doubt in my mind that every Indian is ready and willing to take up this challenge. Every Indian is going to contribute to make India truly a great country once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. It's a pleasant task to propose a vote of thanks, and immediately thereafter we'll take a group photo.